as I said, we're going to look at some of the different types of skills that you need to use. And then we are going to, we're going to look at two types of reading. So that would be the true, false, not given, and the matching headings, okay? Before we do that, let's look a little bit more generally at the kinds of strategies that you need to use for the reading, okay? You don't have time to read the whole text carefully, so you really need to employ these kinds of strategies to make sure that you can get to the information that you need as quickly as possible. Okay, so you're very focused on answering those questions rather than understanding the whole thing, okay? So we do have different types of strategies, okay? And we're going to look at those. So the first one, and the one that we're going to look at in more detail here, is skimming, okay? So skimming is reading a whole paragraph or a whole text very quickly, very generally, just to get an overall idea of what the text is about, okay? So you're not looking at any detail, but you understand more or less what the topic is and perhaps what the opinion is, okay? Perhaps put your volume up a little bit, Wala, okay? So skimming is very important, and it's particularly important for the matching headings, which we're going to look at in a moment, okay? The other one that is very important is scanning. So this is quite different. This means that you are looking through the text for a particular piece of information. So you're not actually trying to understand anything, you're just trying to find a certain word, okay? So for true, false, not given, this is going to be very important, but it's also very important for sentence completion, table completion. Most of the exercises involve scanning. Yeah, sorry, I have a bit of a sore throat. Skimming, Madam China, skimming is reading quickly and generally to get the overall idea of the passage or of the paragraph, okay? And scanning is looking for a particular piece of information, okay? And finally, we have reading carefully. So reading carefully means that once you've found the information, then you look very carefully, very deeply around that area to understand exactly what is being said, okay? So for true, false, not given, and for the multiple choice questions, for those two types of questions, you're going to need to read carefully. You're going to need to check exactly what is being said by the author in that part, okay? Those really are the only two where you have to do the read carefully. But we are going to use it today because we're going to be looking at true, false, not given, okay? So what we are going to look at carefully here, okay, sorry, is the skimming, okay? Because that's really one of the most important ones that you need to look at. So in what situations do we need to skim? Let's have a look at how we can use it in the best way in the reading passage, okay? So the first thing you should always do at the beginning, it's okay guys, is you need to read the title, you need to read any headings, subheadings. If there's a diagram or a picture, have a look at that. And that's going to give you the quickest information about the topic of this text, okay? So whatever exercises you're going to be doing, you're always going to read the title and the headings first, okay? So this is the text that we're going to look at today for the true, false, not given questions, okay? So clearly here, if we look at that title, we know that we are looking at a historical text, we're looking at ancient China, and we're looking at a particular form of transport, which is chariots, okay? Yes, and Charles, actually the three texts increase in difficulty. So rather than thinking, a lot of times people think 20 minutes per text, it's actually quite good to have a little bit extra for the last text. It's a little bit longer and it tends to be a little bit more difficult. So that would be better if you can, maybe 23, 24 minutes for the final text, okay? So first of all, look at any of the headings, any diagrams, any pictures that you can see. Can everybody hear me okay? Subin has said that he can't hear me. Can I just check if everybody can hear you? Yeah, sorry, Subin, I think you need to check your settings, okay? Okay, so let's have a look at the next one, okay? So generally speaking, you want to then go, after you've looked at the title and the diagrams, you want to go then to the exercise, okay? Because once you hear the exercise, once you look at the exercise, then you know where you need to go in the passage, okay? So you don't want to read the whole passage through, just look at the title, then immediately go to the exercise, okay? What kind of exercise is it? Because, you know, that means that there will be different strategies that you will use for different exercises, okay? So have a look at the type of exercise that you're looking at, okay? Yes, we will. And if there's any key words that you can see, then you also need to underline. If you're doing the computer-based test, you can highlight. So that comes to the same thing. So you need to find the key words. Yeah, okay, we'll come to it in a minute. So there's two types of key words. Not much, Nagi, so we've just started, yeah? Okay. The first type of keyword is that the words that are going to help you find the information in the text, okay? So those are going to be words that are easy to see. For example, dates, names, any names, because names have capital letters, so they're easy to find. Numbers are easy to find. Kind of technical information is usually quite easy to find because it doesn't tend to be written as a synonym, okay? So your keywords here, we are looking at the words that are easy to find in the questions and in the passage. They're generally not going to be different. So if we look at the examples here, what kinds of keywords there are we going to be able to find quickly in the passage? Okay, very good, Shirin. Anyang, we've got a capital letter, that's going to be easy to find. What other kinds of words are going to be easy to find? Okay, again, terracotta army, grave goods, because that's quite technical, so it's likely to be the same. Yeah. Exactly. So anything with a capital letter and anything that is very specific to the topic. Okay. Good. Yeah, it is. It's better if you just answer the questions. Otherwise, it's very hard for me to follow the mass of chat that's coming along. Okay. So check what type of exercise it is and check the keywords and mark those in some way so that then when you come to the passage, you can find the same words, okay? If you want to get a bit more information about the text, you can look at the topic sentences, okay? So the topic sentence is the first sentence in each paragraph. And that, as it says, usually gives you the topic of that paragraph. So, you know, you can have a very quick look at the first sentence in each paragraph and just again maybe highlight any keywords, because that's going to make it easier to find the information later on when you come to do the exercise, okay? And for some types of exercises, for example, if you have a diagram that you have to label, that information tends to be in only one part of the text. So if you've very quickly checked your topic sentences, then you will be able to go straight away to the paragraph which talks about the diagram, and then you can find that information very quickly. Royara, in the lecture, it's being recorded and it will be available afterwards. I will talk about that at the end, okay? So if we have a look at these topic sentences here. So paragraph A, what's the topic of paragraph A? Looking at it very, very quickly. What is this going to be about? Yes, so we have the Shang or Yin dynasty, okay? Yeah, so that's going to tell you, so any questions related to that, probably you're going to find in the first paragraph, okay? We can also take this opportunity to highlight any of the keywords that we found in the exercise. So here you can see Anyang, that was in one of the questions, okay? If we look at paragraph B, what's the topic of paragraph B? Okay, yes, exactly. The tomb of Fu Hao, okay? So that's very specific. So that's going to contain all of the information related to that. Yes, and again, we have Anyang, and very good, Gagandi. We've also got the Kaushik, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Grave goods was something that came up in one of the questions. So we can just mark that, and we know then that we can come back to that very quickly once we start doing the exercise. Okay, so yes, so finding the topic of each paragraph is going to help you to find the information more quickly when you come to do the exercise, okay? And if we look here, again, what is the topic of this paragraph? If we just look at the topic sentence, yes, okay, it's the Terracotta Army, okay? And again, the Terracotta Army was in one of the questions, so we know that we're going to find the information there. And we also had the Qin emperors and Tutankhamun. So all of those keywords came up in the questions. So now we can find the information very, very quickly. Okay. So yeah, knowing what is in each paragraph or what is in each section of the reading is really going to help you find the information very quickly. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you go to the exercise first, then you know which words are important. But again, it's very, very quick just to underline those keywords. Okay, exactly. Attila Mount Lee wasn't in any of the questions, so that's less important information. Okay. So as we said, the topic of this is Terracotta Army. Okay. So just to go through that, so right at the beginning, skim through the whole of the passage. Always make sure that you read the title and the headings, check any diagrams, okay? Check the exercise, check any keywords in the exercise. Remember, at this point, we are thinking about keywords in terms of the words that you will find most easily in the passage. Okay, so names, dates, places, okay. Technical information, okay. You can also skim read the topic sentences, which will give you a little bit more detail.